My grandfather was my best friend. He helped his daughter, my mother, raise me. He was a veteran of the Second World War. I'm 17 now, and when World War II was announced, I was excited, since I was way too young to play World at War. I remember watching my grandfather play World at War. He would always brag about how cool the campaign was, how real the graphics looked, and as if people on his squad were his real-life brother-in-arms. When he died, a few months ago, I feel like a part of me died with him. On my 17th birthday, my mother informed me that my grandfather had bought me a present before he died of skin cancer. He bought me a copy of Call of Duty World War II. It came with a note. The note read, "Happy 17th birthday, Jimmy. I'm sorry I couldn't make it to your birthday, but I wanted you to have something I knew you would like. I remember you as a child watching me play World at War. Now as a young adult, I got you this so you could play for yourself. Always be with you. Love, Granddad." I teared up. He was a big part of my life from start to where I am now. I opened the packaging and the copy of World War II was different. For starters, the standard logo that said Call of Duty World War II wasn't gold and yellow. It was red. The soldier with his eyes staring into your soul wasn't there. Instead, it was a picture of a full-body World War II soldier standing in a pose similar to Modern Warfare 2. Want to know a freaky part? My birthday is October 8th. I received World War II on October 8th, 2017, almost a full month before the actual game was really launched. Multiplayer was crossed out, most likely because the servers weren't live yet. And I was never much of a zombies player, so naturally that only left me with the campaign. Here's where it gets weird. My copy of WW2 and the actual WW2 have two completely different campaigns. In the actual release of WW2, you start out on D-Day, you know, where we land with our allies to free France. Mine takes place at the Battle of the Bulge, near the end of the war. The main character's name was James Shepard. You want to know the scary part? My name is also James Shepard. Jimmy is just a nickname. I was named after my grandfather. I realized my grandfather was the main character of this campaign, and there was no dying. There wasn't sponging bullets. There wasn't anything. This was my grandfather we were talking about. This feeling sunk in more when there was a cutscene and my grandfather was shaving. It zoomed in on his face. It looked... it looked like me. It looked like my grandfather. The campaign had 14 levels. Another creepy part was the other two main characters had the same last names as my grandfather's best friends that were killed in the war. McMaster and Tubbs. I tried to save McMaster after every mission, after every attempt, but I still failed. I managed to keep Archer Tubbs alive alongside my grandfather, James Shepard. Then I reached it. The final mission. We were to invade a Holocaust camp. This was also where my grandfather thought he was exposed to the chemicals that gave him his skin cancer. The bodies. I can still see them. The fires, the gases. They were all corpses. The smell. I know I only had a TV for sight and a pair of Turtle Beaches for sound, but I could smell it. The rotting flesh. I continued toward the end of the mission. The Nazis were defeated. It fast forwarded to present date, which was October 15th, 2017. There was a mission called To the Successors. Ready to get goosebumps? The cutscene ended and the final mission cutscene started, and it panned to me. My every movement that was made was reflected on the screen as if it was a mirror. My mother ran into my room and yelled at me for spending the whole week in there and not spending time with my family. The dialogue said, "Move downstairs." I hurried downstairs. I see an old version of Archer Tubbs talking to another old man. It looked like my grandfather. I looked in disbelief as I say, "Grandfather?" The old figure turns to me and he says,